Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome to Scotty Ray's Weather. It is Thursday, June the 18th. This week is moving right along. Before I know it, it'll be the weekend. Well, as we do that, I don't know, have y'all really gotten sick of your weed eater? I don't like mine anymore. I had to use it a little bit yesterday, and it will plumb wear you out. I totally understand people who never plant a flower in their yard. Just kind of plain looking. There's really absolutely nothing wrong with that. Not in my opinion. You decide. As we turn to our forecast this morning, it looks brought to you by EMEPA. We go over the radar this morning. We are picking up a light shower here around Demopolis, Alabama this morning, a little bit to the east of there as well as we go down some showers out in the Gulf and over near Savannah, Georgia. The forecast changed just a little bit. We do now have a 20% chance of an afternoon shower popping up after 1 o'clock, but warm. We'll hit that high right at near 90. Tonight, the temperature will not be as cool as it has been. 67 is our low for tonight. Tomorrow, we're back up to 93 to end the week. Over the weekend, temperatures will be 94, 95, 96, and then we get that chance of rain back in the forecast coming on Monday and Tuesday. It varies on the percentage at this point, anywhere from 40 to 60% chance is what each different weather services is offering there, the National Weather Service and all. But for sure, rain is being forecast finally for that forecast come next week, so we'll watch that. Good morning. I hope you're feeling well today as we start looking around with what's going on in the nation. We turn to some news stories that are happening. First, we'll go to Texas. This is going on. The U.S. Supreme Court has blocked a Texas execution because he couldn't have the priest or preacher, whichever you want to call it, come in and read him his last rites. So his execution before it happened was postponed about 1 hour out. Now, he is accused of, and convicted, so I guess he has been found guilty of it, of killing an 85-year-old woman back in 1998. So he's been sitting there for 22 years. Boy, our justice system is slow on things like this. He says he didn't do it. She didn't believe in banks. He broke in her house and killed her. Stabbed her with a screwdriver, I think, 17 times. He says he didn't do it. I don't know, but a bad deal there. She lost her life. Sad, sad, sad. As we go to our next story today, the New York City man has been arrested that pushed the little old lady down that was 92 years old. And as you get into his criminal record, Rashad Brimage, if I'm saying that correct, has been arrested 100 times in the past. Sounds like a career criminal to me. He's probably already posted bail for this by now, but what makes you want to push a 92-year-old lady? He's 31. I mean, what do you get out of that? The NFL, this is surprising, some say. Trump says, yeah, give him a second chance. If he's good enough, let him try out. So he's not running him down. He says he just disagrees with him on his stance on kneeling during the national anthem. He still holds to that, but says, hey, if he can play, let him. This is, you just don't understand news stories of what's going on. This happened in Rhode Island. A blind teacher, she's retired now, has been banned from a public park because she talked to people about Jesus, sitting on the bench, minding her own business. She says she can't walk anywhere else because she can't see. It's right by her home. She goes and sits on a park bench. You sit down beside her. She talks about her faith in Christianity. She's been barred from doing that. Another one of those stories that makes me scratch my head is, what's the world coming to? A new look is coming for Uncle Ben's, Mrs. Butterworth, and Aunt Jemima. They're going to be changing this to eliminate racial bias in their products. That's been around for years. You go back and you read the story on Aunt Jemima. She was paid for that. She was one of the first black millionaires. She sold her recipe to General Mills. Interesting, but they're getting a new look. And this is interesting. Remember the 70s show, Danny? Yep, he's been charged with 3 different rapes during the period of 2001, 2003. So something's to that. He's been charged doesn't mean he's guilty, but it just means that he has been charged with that. So that's something to watch in the headlines of what's going on. Never know what's behind somebody. They can be famous and still not be a good person. But charged he is. We'll find out if he's guilty or not and found in a court of law. Well, as we talk about things that are good, let's change the subject on that. Let's talk about Joe and all the gang out at Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Folks, if you need a great place to shop, one of the things that I hear so many comments about grocery stores is, well, they're not clean. They don't do this. They don't do that. Well, the Piggly Wiggly of Collins are one of the cleanest places that you'll ever step foot in. A nice, friendly staff. If you need help finding something, I had to find some stuff for my mother a couple weeks ago. I was looking for some sugar-free stuff. Put me right on it. All you have to do is ask. They'll help you and show you what direction. You don't get well, I don't know. They know their store well. See Joe, they can help you out with any grocery needs you might need, from strawberries, from your produce there that you got behind Joe, to apples and oranges. If you're needing cereals, anything like that, and the best meat department that you can find in town. That's where you're going to find it there. And, of course, a great place to eat. If you need a good hot plate lunch, if you're working, drop into the Piggly Wiggly. They'll feed you and get you on the way. Of course, steak night coming up this week. It's a great place to shop. They'll take care of you. How do you get there? Four-way stop in Collinsville, hang a left, and then the Piggly Wiggly will be on the left there. See Joe and his friendly staff, and they'll help you with anything you might need there at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
One thing that is certain in uncertain times, EMEPA's commitment to you. Visit EMEPA.com or call 601-581-8600 to stay in touch. Stay healthy, stay home, and we'll get through this together the cooperative way.
So lots to do today as we wait for recapping our temperature today. It's going to be climbing again into the 90s. It's going to be a warm day. We do have a 20% chance of an afternoon shower popping up at some point, so keep that in mind as you're planning your day. 20% is not that whole lot. Our next big chance is going to come on Monday. As we turn to what's going on in the state of Mississippi with the coronavirus, our cases climbed again yesterday to 489 new cases added, 23 new deaths, and another 73 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities. That brings our total, let me see what I've got here, our total in the state to 20,600 as a broad number of how many cases have been determined, with 938 deaths in the state of Mississippi so far. So coronavirus is still out there. Be careful what you do, who you're around, and hopefully we'll all get by this thing and it will go away. There's not going to be a second wave of it. Lord, I hope not. I don't know if we could all stand that. Again, thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind, invite your friends. Eventually, we're going to have some bad weather to where we have warnings and watches and things of that nature, and I'll be here to tell you about it street by street as it becomes close to you to make sure that you're safe. That will one day happen again. It won't always be hot weather and muggy. So that's up and coming. Thanks for spending part of your day here with Scotty Ray's Weather. Thanks, and I'll be back with more.